really I started this business to have more joy and color in my everyday life, and found the name of the business before I actually decided exactly what I was going to do.
Hey everyone, this is Nazar Akil from Max Pro.
Hi, I'm Linda.
And I'm Paul.
And we're 11 Pebbles.
Hi, this is Lopa Vandermersch from Rasa.
Oh, you're listening to,
And you are listening to the E-Comm Show.
Welcome to the E-Comm Show, presented by BlueTuskr, the #1 place to hear the inside scoop from other e-commerce experts, where they share their secrets on how they scaled their business and are now living the dream. Now, here is your host, Andrew Maff.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the E-Comm Show. I'm your host, as usual, Andrew Maff, and today I'm joined by the amazing Jodi Benjamin, founder of Life of Colors, an amazing art brand outside of Australia, which is going to be great. Jodi, how you doing? You ready for a good show?
Great. I'm ready. Yep. Thank you for having me.
Super excited to have you on the show. Usually I do right in the beginning, I do this whole let's do the stereotypical thing where you can tell me about where you started and your background and all that fun stuff. Your background and how you started the business is actually incredibly interesting. So I'm going to keep doing that, but I thought it'd be nice to give it a little bit more of an intro here. So why don't you tell us about where you got started and tell us that whole story?
Okay, well, my background is kind of all over the show. So this is the third country I've lived in, and multiple industries that I've worked in, from film and fashion and, affiliate marketing. And I think that what I do now is just an amalgamation of all my things that I've done and all my travels and adventures. And, really I started this business to have more joy and color in my everyday life. And I found the name of the business before I actually decided exactly what I was going to do. So I knew I wanted to sell a product, and I knew I wanted to sell something that I could comfortably and happily sell. Therefore, it had to be something in arts and crafts. So not that I'm an artist, but I'm someone who loves to be creative. So I was in a year's maternity leave with my second child, and I had a job that was my first job after I immigrated to Australia. So I'm from South Africa, and then I lived in Tel Aviv for 7 years, and then I met an Australian husband and found myself here, a little bit kind of unsure of who I was in this new place. And I had my second child, and my year's maternity leave was coming to an end, and I thought I just simply can't go back to that job. It was soul destroying and boring and not what I wanted to do, although I had to bring in an income. So I started thinking of what I could do, and I stumbled upon, because some of the internet gods heard me, a Amazon seller's course. I thought, okay, I'll do this. And through that, I found a really beautiful product, learned how, which was watercolor brush pens, which I thought was something that I'd never seen before. Watercolors in a pen with a brush tip. So I thought, well, this is something that I can sell. And through the Amazon course, I found a bit of a community, and I learned how to sell on Amazon. Very quickly realized Amazon is not for me. And by this time I was back in my job because, I had to bring in money. So I was doing it on the side. I had my job, I had my 2 kids, I had a baby. It was pretty intense. I worked 4 days a week. They gave me 1 day off, and I used to just work nights and in my spare time. Yeah, then that's it. So I started selling on Amazon, and I still had my job. Eventually I got a redundancy, which was the best thing ever, because at that point I thought, actually, if I spend more time in this, I can do it. I got a redundancy, and then I put all my time and energy and effort into the business and decided no more Amazon. I brought it all to Australia, any stock that I had. I sold out what was on Amazon. I brought it to Australia, and then I just went knocking on doors and said, hey guys, do you want to buy my product? And I got a few shops that said, okay, sure, we'll sell your product. And then got a bit of money in the bank, and then I thought, okay, ready for my next product. And it was my second product that really pushed me ahead, because it was acrylic paint pens. So acrylic paint pens, I don't know if you know, but they can draw on any surface. And there was this really big trend at that time that had started, which was the kindness rocks and painting on rocks. something like that.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Oh,
you write
yeah.
a message at the back and you go and hide it in a park, and then people find it and they put on this Facebook group. Each area or region has a Facebook group and said, I've hidden this rock, go find it, and people would find it. So I got in these paint pens and I was like, the way that I have to get it out there is really to get in these groups. So yeah, that's the where everything kind of changed. I got into these groups and yeah, the rest is history.
Nice. And you're well over, I believe, at least 50 products now, correct?
Yes, I think it's about 45 SKUs. But then I also bundle those up in different ways to make new products. So
Yeah.
my whole thing is, how do my products work together? So I'm trying to educate a person that if you have a paint pen, for example, you can lay down a background with your watercolors, you let it dry, then you add a little bit of shading with another one of my paint sticks, and then on top of it, you paint with the acrylic paint pens. And so they all work together, and anything that I bring out is something that complements what I already have. So
Yeah.
besides for all the pens, I do watercolor, acrylic, gouache, gel pens, all types of pens. And now I'm selling the surfaces that you can paint on. So, for example, wood slicers. I have everything in front of me just because I'm at my desk. So, like, wood.
Nice.
And I sell the rocks. I sell flat rocks now. I sell mini canvases that come on easels. I sell the paper. So I wanted to be kind of like a one-stop shop for any creative, hobbyist, art enthusiast. I'm not trying to be the next Winsor and Newton and fine arts supplies for professionals, although a lot of professionals do buy from me. I'm more catering to the hobbyist and enthusiast. So that's any age
Yeah.
from 3 to 103. And yeah, that's my audience, art
Nice.
enthusiast.
So you mentioned that you decided Amazon wasn't for you, and so you stopped selling on
Yeah.
Amazon, which you don't hear every day. But I also don't blame you. What made you want to transition away from Amazon?
So I'm here. Amazon was in the US. My customer was in the US, and I never knew their names. I didn't know who they were or how to speak to them. And I'm 100% a customer first business. And if I can't speak to or communicate with my customers, then they're not my customer. They're Amazon's customer who are just buying another product. And
Mm-hmm.
how could I remarket to them? How could I remarket new products? And I mean, I didn't know all of that at the time, but what I did know at the time that it was very, very difficult to make a profit on Amazon if I wasn't doing major, major scale.
Yeah.
At the time I just had one product, and, to get noticed, there were all these tactics that you had to do, like sell a lot to push your rankings up. So like you'd sell
Mm-hmm.
them. So instead of selling it at my price, which was $39, I'd sell them for $15 at some, so that I could push up my rankings. Then you had to maintain that. But then how do you maintain that? It's selling them for $15, which was not even breaking even. Then
Mm-hmm.
also the advertising costs on Amazon. But the main thing is that I'm in Australia, and I realized I wanted an Australian business, and there was nothing like it here at the time. I still don't really have competitors because my products are quite niche.
Mm-hmm.
So I just thought, well, I'm in Australia and I want to be able to see and speak to my customers, and that's become the focus of my business is community and customers. And
Nice.
it's all the C's: community, customers, creativity, color, content. That's it.
There you go. Nice.
Yes.
Is that like your mission statement?
Yeah.
What so you took this Amazon course, you found this product, which obviously started this whole business. When you found the product, it's always a very interesting question. Was this one of those Amazon courses where they helped you find a product that just had opportunity and that was about it? Or
Yes.
did you pick the product because it was more of a passion thing?
Yeah. No. So you could search in any category from, homewares to gasoline canister storage into anything. You could
Yeah.
basically say, I didn't even look in those categories because I knew that if I'm going to sell a product and build a brand, because from the beginning I knew I wanted a brand, not just a product, because I had
Mhm.
the business name Life of Color. So I knew there's an amazing brand behind that. So Life of Color. And at the time I had young kids. I had, a 3-year-old and a baby, and it had kind of reignited my love for arts and crafts, which I loved, pre-marriage, kids, all busy life days. I used to do a lot of art and craft, and I just knew that that was the category that I wanted to look in. So we used tools like Jungle Scout and other tools that they recommended, just to see if there's enough interest in the product, not too much competition. It was like a fine balance. You had to kind of find something with enough interest, not too much competition.
Yeah. It was really interesting because it's not, in fact, you might be the only person I've ever heard that did the typical like sourcing for a product and then actually stayed in that product line and expanded it. Because a lot of times when you take these Amazon courses, they're taught from people that show you, here's a category with a product that's got some opportunity. And now here's another category with a different product that's got opportunity. And all of a sudden you're selling 500 random things that have nothing to do with each other. You actually found a product that had opportunity, but then you built a brand around it and expanded the product line to relevant stuff, which is very rarely the case. Usually it's the other way around, or it's someone started with an invention and went that way. Like that's a very interesting story.
Yeah. So that was what it was for me. I just had to sell something that I connected with. Like I said, I got the name before I got the product. So if I didn't follow the name Life of Color, I can't go and sell
gas canisters,
plates. I can actually. I could have, but no, this arts and crafts thing was just, I was growing with it. So I was just intuitively going with where it was taking me, and it was just really expanding in my niche, which is paint in pens.
Yeah. Beautiful. You're one of the reasons I was actually really excited for this conversation. So you emailed me yesterday about something you wanted to chat about, which was your Black Friday stuff. And ironically, that was definitely something I wanted to talk about too, because you're the first person to be on the show since Black Friday of this year. Oh. So how'd it go? What'd you do? Obviously you had mentioned like you had this big blowout sale over a short period of time. Like what happened?
Yeah. So what happened was, first of all, I'm in Australia, right? And I only sell to Australia and New Zealand. So I'm not this massive US brand that with all this crazy Black Friday hype. I mean, Black Friday has become bigger, but it's not like in the US. And on Shopify, I know they make such a major deal of Black Friday, Friday. What's Black Friday going to be? And, we have had quite a lot of hiccups this year in terms of just, ad spend going up, all our costs going up, and just finding it a lot easier to be profitable than we were before. We also had, some other like channel. We had another really big channel that we had lost. So it's been a bit of a tough year. And I just knew that I couldn't do the same thing as last year, like put up a bunch of, send out a bunch of emails and compete with everyone else and put up a bunch of ads on Google and Facebook and hope to make a profit. I knew that I needed to use this month to do something huge to catch up on some of that lost profit that, from the year. And I was just thinking one day, so my husband, who's joined the business, we work together, he was turning 44. And the business in Australia, from the day I brought it to Australia, not the exact day, kind of used the date a bit, was turning 4. And my husband's birthday is on 11/11. And I'm all very into my numbers and everything. So I thought, there's an opportunity. 4th birthday for Life of Color, Richard's 44th, 11/11. The numbers were all talking to me. I was like, let's do a crazy 4-hour sale at 40% off, which we never do. Like small business, you can't really afford 40%, but you can't do it all the time. But we do have a lot of stock, and I knew that I needed some cash flow back into the business. So just and I only thought of this. We were going to do the regular Black Friday campaign, start a week early, do a 30% off or 25% off, and compete with everyone else. But then I just thought of this 2 weeks before. So we quickly scrambled. We work with an ad agency, and we were like, guys, we've got to do something. Changed everything. Let's do this. And we started with an art competition. So I've got a Facebook community of about 7,500 creatives on Facebook. So they always love a competition. So we launched a competition. We called it the Color Rush competition. So that really just means anything in color. Open it up to everyone. There were two categories. There was a kids category and an adults category. And I just started to build it up with people, like just getting eyes on the brand, ran some lead gen ads just to get more eyes on the brand and to enter the competition. And that's how we started to build it up. And there were hundreds of people, thousands, a few thousand entries. And then I started to talk about this hype of, this big birthday coming up, that it's our 4th birthday and we're going to be doing something huge. But I didn't say what, and there were a few emails sent out just to create the hype. And also what I did at this stage, which is what I don't always do, is I started to show up all the time, because I get a bit nervous about showing up on Instagram and, showing my face. Like I'm always there. People know
Like
it's me.
personal, yeah.
Personally, I started to make it very personal, like 1111, which are my numbers. My husband's 44. The business is 4. Like there's something huge happening, and I was showing up every single day on all the channels that I have, and and then that was it. And then I just told everyone, set your alarms, because on the 11th of the 11th at 11 o'clock. Actually, I couldn't do 11 because that's Remembrance Day. So it was at 12 o'clock. Set your alarms, there's going to be something huge. And I think I had built up a lot of hype. So by the time that email went out and that first post went out, I just looked at my Shopify, and there were like, people had literally set their alarms. They were online with their things in their cart already waiting to check out by the time the sale started.
That's nuts.
So I looked at, there was like 100 people in the store already. I'm like, what the? Yeah, and then for the next 4 hours, we just sat there watching. We did more in those 4 hours than we did the whole of Black Friday last year.
Yeah. Jeez.
You
40% left Amazon.
Yeah, you can't maintain the 40%, but it's fun to know that you can do that, and that there's people watching. The community cares, and they want your products, and it helps them at this time of the year to get such a big discount. And it worked well.
The fact that you left Amazon, chose to diversify your brand and build your own brand, then was able to do it successfully. And then you also leveraged creating your own community that you have like control over.
Yeah.
You might be my hero. I can't get anyone to actually listen and do that. And you just went right through and actually did. Like, to me, that is the way to grow an e-commerce business, because you can't really running ads and, doing the traditional approach. Obviously it works for a lot of people, especially ones that are like loaded with capital. But outside of that, it's all about community building. Like, people want to buy from a person or a brand that has like, a personal feel to it, or at least like something that they can really relate to outside of just peddling product. And you did. Bravo.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
What's the plan for the remainder of the year? You doing another one? I won't tell anyone.
No,
except everyone listening.
Sales are done. We did do a follow-up Black Friday, just at a lower discount.
Mm-hmm.
No more sales. That's it. I don't want people to think that they can always buy my things at a discount, my products at a discount. Just they need to pay full price now. But I always give things. I'm always giving up things away, because, because I've got this community. People like to get. It's not that people just like to get free stuff, but it's just I like to show that I'm a brand that gives. So even though I'm not always giving discounts at the moment, I'm just doing like a free gift with purchase, which is this Christmas stocking that you can color in with our fabric pens.
Oh, nice.
So I'm doing that until the end of the year. But yeah, we have a few exciting things in the works for next year. But I'm trying to slow down now, and I'm ready to take a holiday.
Yeah, aren't we
I'm
all?
getting tired.
It's the back end of Q4. It's like I'm exhausted.
Yeah, I'm exhausted. I'm ready to just put my feet up, hopefully, for a few weeks, although I never really do because I'm actually still running my customer service.
Ah.
Because I mean, I've had people doing it over the years and helping me, but then at some point my previous person left, I took it over, and then I just got a little bit addicted to it because I just thought, how could anyone else actually answer this question? I feel I've got a very, very close connection with my customers because of the fact that I'm the one speaking to them on the email. And they're not emailing saying, where's my package? And this is faulty. They're saying, look at these beautiful rocks I painted with my grandkids on the weekend. And they're saying, oh, I've got this pen. I'm not quite sure what I can do with it. And, so it's a very personal thing. So I actually never switch off. So I'll be in Thailand at the pool on my laptop speaking to
Nice.
customers, which is fine because it's not too much work. And it's just the sense of control that I have over like the customers and,
Yeah.
the messages that's going out there.
Yeah. You mentioned something that, again, I swear you might be my favorite. I completely agree in the aspect of not offering too many discounts, because in my opinion it starts to really belittle the brands. Like, otherwise people are just sitting around waiting for the next discount, and I completely agree with that. How often are you, I know it probably changes year to year based on seasonality, inventory, all that fun stuff, but how often are you actually offering any kind of discount on the site?
So full store discounts, we try and do now 2 big ones a year. We want to do an end of financial year sale and a Black Friday where there's a significant discount on every single item in the store. But we will throughout the year have like an offer on certain collections or certain products, just to kind of, it gives us something to say in the emails. Like if we put out a blog about a certain bundle, we can offer it at 20% off for the next couple days.
Yeah.
I am quite aware of, now that I have a lot more wholesale, people buying wholesale, so I'm in a lot more shops, small business shops as well. So I know that it upsets them too if I'm on sale all the time, because at one point, when the year started and things were just a little bit tough, and like I mentioned, the cash flow was a thing, we probably did a few more sales than we would have liked just to move things. And a couple of my smaller wholesale customers were like, hey guys, like, come on, like, how can we sell your products full price if you are discount? And I took it with a bit of a pinch of salt, because at the end of the day, it's my business. But at the same time, I want more of these guys buying from me, because it's, it's like 20% of the business right now, and I want to grow wholesale. So I'm just very aware of the fact that, I've got to have a good balance. So yeah, we're trying to do 2 major ones a year, and then smaller seasonal ones along the way. We'll do something for back to school. I don't know. I always kind of wing it along the way, depending on what's happening.
I get that. So at this point, you've mentioned, email marketing, your blogs, your social media, the Facebook group and stuff you have. So you've obviously got the gamut of the marketing side, and your agency that you're working with. What tends to be the channel that brings in the most like net new customers?
Oh, well, it used to be Facebook used to be fantastic for us. Like, I used to actually run my own Facebook ads in the beginning, and, without actually knowing too much, I managed to get like a 6, 7, 8 times ROAS. This was like 3 years ago, and it was pretty
The
easy.
heydays.
Yeah. And now it's just, as everybody probably knows, getting harder and harder and harder. What we're trying to do is just rely a little bit less on Facebook and Google, but we need it. Like, we have to have it. We have to have it. We're finding that the Performance Max is that on Google, and there's another one on Facebook, the automated ones. I can't remember the name of the one on Facebook. Those are working the best right now, actually.
Yeah.
Ones that you just upload 10 ads, 10 campaigns, put a budget, let it run. Those are the ones that are now actually running at a little bit more of a profit than other campaigns were before. So yeah, Google and Facebook. We've had quite a lot of great opportunity from the Australian government, because they run different voucher schemes at different times. So
Cool.
we're
Yeah,
going
we
to be
don't get
doing.
that.
Yeah, no, we've got pretty good government here. So, for example, during COVID, there's a voucher scheme called Creative Kids, and each kid between the school-going age kid gets $100 a year to spend on like a creative camp or class or club or something, $100 a year. So during COVID, they said, well, no one can go to classes or anything, so you can use that on a do-it-at-home art kit or something. So I applied and got that, and that brought in not hundreds of thousands, but thousands of new customers from our state. So
Wow.
that was a great way to bring in new customers.
I hope our government is listening to this right now.
Yeah, that was really, really good. So, but that ended. So yeah, we just look for these little pockets of opportunity where we can. We're trying to grow the business through wholesale now, because I just think the more shops that we are seen in, the more people actually just come looking for us online, rather than having to, pay to acquire that customer each time.
Yeah.
So yeah, top of funnel is still those channels, but working on, diversifying, not relying on Facebook as much as we used to.
No one is.
Yes.
But beautiful. Jodi, thank you so much for being on the show. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you're on Australia, so your day is just getting started. I don't want to eat up your whole day. Thank you so much for being on the show. I'd love to give you an opportunity to kind of let everyone know where they can find out more about you and, of course, Life of Color.
Or I guess online.
That's a good point.
Website, all the socials. I'm on pretty much every channel you can be on. Trying to grow the TikTok now too. But yeah, I'm on Instagram.
Beautiful. For everyone listening here in the States, Life of Color has a U in it. So don't forget that. COLOUR. But Jodi, thank you so much for being on the show. Of course, everyone else that tuned in, thank you as well. Please make sure you rate, review, subscribe, all that fun stuff on whichever podcast platform you want. Well, you go watch the whole thing on YouTube or head over to ecommshow.com to watch the rest of the episodes. But per usual, thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you all next time. Have a good one.
Thank you for tuning in to the E-Comm Show. Head over to ecommshow.com to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform or on the BlueTuskr YouTube channel. The Ecomm Show is brought to you by BlueTuskr, a full-service digital marketing company specifically for e-commerce sellers looking to accelerate their growth. Go to BlueTuskr.com now for more information. Make sure to tune in next week for another amazing episode of the Ecomm Show.